Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you from CES 2025 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Joining me for this segment, we have Ramani, Global Lead of Data and AI at Accenture. And we're here to discuss Accenture's 2025 technology vision and how emerging technologies, including robots, are set to transform individuals, businesses, systems, operations, and society at large. Sen, it is great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks. And
thank you so much for having me, Jill.
We were talking about this off camera, but we're seeing how these emerging technologies are coming to life, and it's about the user experience and so forth.
Right.
Give us a high-level overview of Accenture's 2025 technology vision, which is also the 25th edition of it.
It is,
Yeah.
it is. In fact, so let me just probably start off with saying that we are entering a new era of AI-driven autonomy. Now, the AI is no more just a tool. It is really going to be a partner, for enterprises, for societies, and for people and consumers. Interestingly speaking, the way we found this year's trend was AI is limitless in its possibilities. In fact, there's just one limiting factor, and that's going to be trust.
Right.
So we've been running the technology vision for over 20 plus years, like you said, and in this year's we spoke to around 12,000 consumers, 4,000 customers of ours did the survey along with us. 21 industries is what we covered. And there's one statistic that I kind of want to point out to you, right, which is like 81% of those executives effectively said that the technology strategies and the trust strategies that enterprises build need to be hand in glove.
Yes.
And that's going to be key for most of them. And ultimately we said that the one key factor that every enterprise needs to have is an enterprise cognitive digital brain, Jill.
Yeah, which is interesting, because even when we first started covering this more, the responsible and ethical use of AI was something that I tended to focus on, and it's encouraging to hear the enterprise is thinking about that hand in glove, to your point.
Hugely, yeah.
Tell us about the binary Big Bang,
Yeah.
Big Bang, and what that means in terms of agentic AI.
That's a great question. And the reason is because I was just having a bit of fun with some of my team members that we might end up seeing more agents than humans here in CES this year. And it's interesting because we've traditionally recorded foundation models. We've been using foundation models, research to further a lot of our enterprises work for our clients. But this time it's combined with, that's why we call it a binary Big Bang, it's combined with agentic workflows. Now agents can obviously understand, reason, have memory short-term and long-term. That actually creates limitless possibilities of what you can do with workflows and with organizations. Conventional ways in which software engineering was built is going to completely be broken because of agentic workflows as well.
Right. Well, and you pointed out here that leaders should prepare for the death of apps. What's the implications of that? And I mean, what does that mean? I mean, even from a consumer perspective, do we now have apps on phones anymore? Or is it agentic AI is just going to not be the app, but I guess the medium for getting things done?
So let's put this in perspective.
Yeah.
So Jill's using agents, or Jill is actually using AI. What's going to happen is, at a point in time, all these agents are going to be looking the same, right? So what do you do with it? And if I want to personify AI for Jill in this case, I need to bring in the vision and the values of Jill together. And that's exactly what personified AI needs to do. Organizations need to actually spend more time on brand and with AI coming together, and that's going to be critical for them. And that's the differentiation also in the future.
Yeah, well, you have to teach you how to talk really fast. Let's talk about merging AI, and you touched about this as it relates to brand personification. What about when you think about data protection and privacy and cybersecurity? That's a whole other topic, and implementing the controls and the governance for leveraging these types of technologies.
Totally, and in fact that starts with stage zero design of your AI
Right.
systems. That's when trust actually really gets built in. We call this the continuous learning loop. The continuous learning loop is because AI is just not learning, it's also teaching. Right, and if you think of AI as a pretty much a child, a teenager, and an adult, you can categorize the usage in an organization pretty much through that. You got to teach it, and you've got to learn from it as well. So that's why we call this the continuous loop as well.
Well, you also spoke about this too when LLMs get their bodies. And I'm thinking about it, and just to see the transformation, we've been covering the show now for 3 years, and just 3 years of what we've seen in the EV hall, if you will, which is now electronification of everything.
Yeah.
AI-powered robots, right? It could be autonomous being in the physical world. They could be walking around here.
It is massive.
I think in the next 5 years, that's not far off to me.
Totally. And in fact, what's one of the key things that I'm really excited about is because there are a convergence of three things happening on physical AI, as I call it.
Right.
I mean, like you said, there's robotics, there is physics that's coming in, and the third thing is adding foundation models to it. So the models can actually teach the robot just not to do task-specific or singular things, but to do multiple things to making them more general, function robots as well. Let me just give you an example. We just announced our partnership with Kion yesterday. It was featured in Jensen's keynote as well. So we've been partnering along with NVIDIA and with Kion. Kion's one of the world's largest warehousing solutions companies. And what we are building along with NVIDIA's Mega Blueprint and the Cosmos in a world model that Jensen talked about is integrating Kion's future warehouse solutions for their customers, right? And this platform is exciting because it's going to get our customers to be far more efficient on their warehouse space utilization and putting robotics really at the heart of design for future warehouses.
We have arrived when the first keynote at CES is delivered. By an AI-powered robot.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
That's
that will be the benchmark. I mean, we were at the, NVIDIA's keynote was incredible, but even last night it was delivered from the Sphere, the Delta CEO.
Exactly.
That was definitely groundbreaking in terms of what a keynote looks like. I don't think it's far off that there'll be a race for who delivers the first AI-powered robot.
Absolutely, and I guess again the limiting factor there is going to be the trust. How much you have built into it, and how much you personify that. Back to the point I was telling you in terms of the brand, and how do you transfer the brand into the AI systems so they can make it more personal for people when they use it.
Well, Sen, I can't wait to meet with you again in 5 years, and we'll see exactly where we are. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks.
Thank you, Jill, for having me.
Thanks for joining me from CES. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.